station for all the hits. ZiFM Stereo.
10:45 is our time right now. If you're just joining us, this is The Big Show on a Friday with Chamvari up until 2 p.m. this afternoon. But in the meantime, like I did promise earlier on, we're going to have our conversation with ZimRights. We've got ZimRights in the studio, and we have the National Director, Dzikamai Bere, in the studio. And we're going to be talking about ZimRights, what they do, because I'm sure somebody must be wondering, ZimRights, what is ZimRights? Good morning, Dzikamai, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Chamvari. Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's just start off by asking, who is ZimRights?
Yeah, so ZimRights is Zimbabwe's first post-independence indigenous human rights advocacy group. It's a membership-based grassroots organization.
Yeah.
With over 250,000 members across the country. And our work is to campaign for human rights. All
right, and with that being said, so your work is to campaign for human rights, and this is for Zimbabweans, for anyone that is in Zimbabwe.
That is correct.
All right. So, what is shifting power to the people? What does that mean?
So, shifting power to the people is our current strategy, in which we are engaging in a number of campaigns that are meant to empower the ordinary Zimbabwean to be able to participate in creating a society in which they enjoy their human rights.
Yeah. So we live freely, exercising and enjoying our human rights.
Yes, so as you know, human rights is almost a buzzword. But many times when we hear about human rights, we think somebody is going to deliver them to us. But with shifting power to the people, we want communities to realize that these are rights that we are born with. But for them to be realized, communities have to play a leadership role in realizing them. So in a number of programs that we are doing, we are empowering communities to take a leadership role in advancing the cause of human rights. So
it is very important for us as people to know and understand what our rights are.
That is correct.
And the steps to follow when we feel our rights have been violated.
That is correct.
All right, so we see you have a manifesto, the People's Human Rights Manifesto. What are the reasons behind this manifesto?
Yeah, so the People's Human Rights Manifesto is our latest product that we launched 2 days ago on the 12th of April. Now, in terms of people enjoying their rights, one of the most fundamental rights is participation in political activities.
Right.
And as you know, Zimbabwe is preparing for the 2023 elections. And the big question that we are bringing to the electoral question of 2023 is that over the years, we always wait for politicians to come
to us
with fake promises, perishable goods. But what if we put together what we want from them, and when they come, we already have the clarity of what we expect from them, and we ask them to sign up to those commitments. Now that list of demands is what we are calling the People's Human Rights Manifesto.
All right. So as opposed to Chamvari being a politician, coming to the people saying, I assuming that is what you want, I'm going to deliver A, B, C, D to you, and you just say, yes, that's it.
Yes.
But what about what the people want from Chamvari, if Chamvari is going to be elected?
Yes, and the key principle here, Chamvari, is listening. Many times we take our people as dumb. We think we can just come to our people and say, I'll give you free Wi-Fi, and people claim. But what if they don't want Wi-Fi? What if they want education for their children? When are we going to speak about real bread and butter issues and stop treating people like children who are ready to receive goodies, and then after the elections, you forget about them?
We ignore them.
So in the People's Human Rights Manifesto, because we're a grassroots-based organization with over 250,000 members, our communities have spoken out. And they've said, we want to change this culture in which electoral power rests in politicians. Electoral power must rest in the people, because the Constitution says we, the people. And wow, what a beautiful world it would be where politicians actually acknowledge that the power actually rests in the people. And when they come to the people, they actually do more of listening than demanding. So beyond just the key demands, the manifesto then lists 5 action points under each of the 10 key demands. Following those 5 action points, it then puts a commitment card. So if you are coming to me as an electorate and you want to be voted into power, not only will I tell you what I am expecting, but I will invite you to commit to that. And once you make a commitment, the conversation does not end there. Oh, we will hound you for
You
5.
have an action plan to this means that there is a plan that we're going to use to hold you accountable to your promises and
That
to what
is-
we agreed on, because I voted you into office, so I'm expecting A, B, C, D. You have not done it.
That is correct.
All right. And what is the importance of electoral promises? I like that you keep bringing them up.
Now, the importance of electoral promises is, traditionally, these are mere slogans. But we want to move from a space where people just make slogans and are never held accountable
Right.
for the things that they say. So now, instead of politicians coming to make electoral promises, we want there to be dialogue between the politicians and the people. And that dialogue has to be human rights centered.
Okay.
Now, once a promise is made, according to the manifesto, you sign up a commitment card, and there is a tracking tool in the manifesto which allows the people every year to come back to those commitments and say, Tava papi chamba. Tiri kuenda kupi.
Yeah. Currently, Zimbabwe's population is around 15 million people. So how have you managed to how are you going to decentralize this? Because everybody is obviously going to want to be a part of it.
Now, so this is why we are on radio today, because we're promoting this manifesto. We are a grassroots movement with over 250,000 members, but this manifesto isn't for only those 250,000. So it's a public document. It's a public document, and we're giving out to the people and inviting ordinary people to plug into this manifesto. We have established 219 committees across the country that are led by our members who are active in promoting this manifesto. So they will ensure that they attend a lot of the meetings in which there are electoral conversations and use the social spaces that they are already existing in. Remember, we are grassroots. So these are not NGO people. These are community people who are in their communities, who are already equipped with this manifesto and the facilitation tools, and they'll be part of the electoral conversations, and will help engage with the prospective leaders so that we promote the ideals that are in this constitution. But beyond that, because the underlying theme is we the people, we want everyone to be able to have a copy of the manifesto, interact with it, endorse it, commit it, and become an ambassador for that manifesto.
And have you managed to have engagements done so far?
So we just launched this 2 days ago.
All right.
So that was our first public engagement, in which about 500 people participated in that interaction. 4 political parties heeded the call to come and have a political leaders human rights dialogue with the people who attended that meeting in Harare. We're going to be rolling out a series of similar dialogues using the manifesto into all the provinces and going even deeper inwards so that everyone is part of that conversation.
All right. So in the studio, we have ZimRights National Director Dzikamai Bere, and he's been explaining to us what ZimRights does and also the People's Human Rights Manifesto. Quite excited about this one, and I'm going to go through it. It's a small document, so you can even receive it digitally. Yeah, it's possible. 31 pages. I'm sure if you commit yourself to just a few, even an hour, it will be too much for you to get through this, note down your points. But before we close off our conversation, how are you going to hold leaders to account? This is a very important question, because you said we are going to agree, and this is what we want as a people. This is what you are offering. We meet. We vote you into office. But now, accountability at Ambotaura. How are we going to hold these to account?
Yeah, so this is where the shifting power to the people strategy comes in. In the sense that once communities own this manifesto, they already have that power. Rallies are going to happen throughout the country. So where your popular politician is used to come to your favorite beer hall and buy people alcohol and expect that they're just going to vote, they're going to find ZimRights animators in that beer hall and they'll ask them about the human rights commitments. It's okay to buy goodies for people, but the most important thing is what's in it for our children, because elections must be about human rights, about bread and butter issues. So it's not us as the Secretariat who are going to be driving this manifesto. It's people like yourself, it's people like your friends, it's people like your parents, it's people like your grandmothers who are in the rural areas, whom we want to domesticate and internalize this manifesto. So we're inviting every Zimbabwean. If you log into our Facebook page, into our Twitter, into our website, you should be able to find the manifesto that is there. We are going to roll out different translations on it and start a conversation with the next person.
All right.
If you didn't know who your MP is or your prospective MP is, it's your assignment.
All right. So how can we find you on social media? You just spoke about we can be able to find the manifesto on those pages.
So we are ZimRights Live across all the social media.
ZimRights Live.
ZimRights Live. And on website, that's www.zimrights.org.zw.
Okay. And where can we find your offices?
We are at number 90 SV Muzenda Street, ZimRights House.
Okay. Thank you very much to the National Director, Dzikamai Bere, for coming through. I actually enjoyed this conversation. Very informative conversation. The social media pages, ZimRights Live, and you can go onto those pages, easily accessible. They did say that this manifesto will be available in different languages very soon, so that you can even share it with whoever, any concerned Zimbabwean anywhere around the country. Thank you very much for coming through to the show.
Thank you for inviting us.
Stand by for the news that is coming through at 11 o'clock. This is The Big Show.
We are ZiFM Stereo.
Tatango China.